There is a power most men never tap into, not because it's hidden, but because it demands belief before proof. It's the power of vision, not eyesight, not wishful thinking, but unshakable inner sight. The kind of vision that sees a destiny long before the world sees results. The kind that makes you walk like a king while you're still in the trenches. If you want to rise above mediocrity, if you want to become what God meant for you to become, you must see it until you live it. You must see yourself as disciplined, even when your habits are still weak. You must see yourself as wealthy, even when the bank account is dry. You must see yourself as chosen, even when nobody claps, nobody calls, and nobody believes. Because that's the test. That's where the average man folds, but not you. You weren't made to fold. You were made to forge. Your future doesn't begin when things finally go right. Your future begins the moment you refuse to let your current circumstances blind you to your calling. Edison saw the light bulb before it lit. Carnegie saw steel cities before the first girder rose. Hill himself saw success while living in poverty. They all held the same power, relentless vision. They lived in the world as it was, but their minds dwelled in the world they were building, and they never left it. You see, the dream is easy when the skies are clear. But what happens when it's cold, dark, and you're alone with nothing but a blueprint in your head? That's when vision separates the few from the many. That's when the real builders are born. The men who don't wait for motivation, who don't beg for signs. The men who decide, who believe, who act, as if the world they envision is more real than the one they're walking through. You must be that man. The one who walks into each day with quiet fire in his chest. Not noise, not ego, but vision, anchored deep in purpose. You don't need the world to understand you. You need to understand your assignment. And when your vision is rooted in purpose, your steps become unstoppable. People will doubt you. Circumstances will test you. Even your own mind will try to betray you. But if your vision is clear, if your vision is real, it will outlast every obstacle in your path. Look at the giants. Ford wasn't a mechanic. He was a visionary. He saw automobiles where others saw horse carts. Disney was told he lacked imagination, yet he saw entire worlds while others saw blank paper. They weren't just dreamers. They were doers with direction. And that's the difference. Vision without discipline is delusion. But vision with discipline? That's divine. Every morning before the world speaks, your vision should speak louder. Before the news, the notifications, the noise, you remind yourself what you're building. You close your eyes, not to escape reality, but to see it more clearly than ever. You rehearse success in your mind like it's already happened, because that is how it becomes inevitable. This isn't about fantasy. This is about spiritual alignment with your future self. The man you're becoming, the man who already exists in God's blueprint, is calling you to match his energy. That means acting like him now, speaking like him now, moving like him now. Because reality bends to the will of a man whose vision is relentless. And when the world throws doubt at you, good, let it. Because every great man was doubted. Every world changer was laughed at. Your job is not to convince them. Your job is to keep building. And if you hold your vision through the storm, through the silence, through the setbacks, you will arrive. And not by accident, but by design. Your design. You were not born to live on autopilot. You were not created to wake up, scroll, work, and die. You were sent here with a mission. And that mission is written in the language of vision. But vision only speaks to the man who is willing to listen, to be still, to separate from the crowd, to walk alone if necessary. Because the path to greatness is never loud. It is sacred. You don't need the whole staircase. You only need the next step, and then the next, and then the next. And that's how vision becomes reality. Not in one leap, but in disciplined inches, in the silence of early mornings, in the sacrifice of late nights, in the choices no one sees but God. Because every choice either builds your vision or betrays it. And hear this clearly. There is no fallback plan, not for the man who's seen it, not for the man who's felt it in his bones. Once the vision grabs hold of you, there is no going back. You will feel out of place in average conversations. You will grow uncomfortable around those who play small, not because you're better, but because your calling is louder. Your fire is hotter. Your ceiling is higher. So what do? You protect the vision. You water it. You fight for it like it's your last name. You remind yourself every single day, this is who I am. This is what I'm building. This is where I'm going. And you see it until you live it. And when that day comes, when your reality finally matches the picture in your mind, you'll look back not with arrogance, but with gratitude. Because you'll know it wasn't luck. It was relentless vision. It was faith in motion. It was belief when no one else believed. That is how empires are built. That is how names are remembered. That is how legacies are born. So start now. Start today. Start with your eyes closed and your faith open. And don't stop until the vision breathes.